welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be looking at how to draw perfect support and resistance zones. And the support and resistance zone is basically used by traders, different traders. It serves as a strategy. You can use it as your personal strategy to trade, because that's what I use personally in my trading for the past 5 years, and it has made me a lot of money. So proceeding, I would like to try to break down what a support and resistance zone is and make you understand what it is. So moving forward, a support and resistance is basically, like I said, the most traded concept used in technical analysis. Most concept used in technical analysis, and it serves as a backbone for price action, and it can help you to potentially get your entry and exit points. And yeah, funny enough, everybody seems to have their own idea on how to draw a perfect support and resistance zone. But today I will be showing you what has been working for me and how to draw the best support and resistance zones. So next, I will be showing you guys what a support and resistance zone looks like, and this is how it will look like on the charts. So going on, here we have a diagram of what a support and resistance zone looks like. So for the support zone, you can see here the support zone acts like a floor. For instance, let me break it down. So we are in a buy trend, in a bullish movement. So we get the buyers pushing it up, then after some time we get the sellers pushing it down. So once it gets to this our support zone, which serves as a floor, we get a rejection off of here. So once it gets to this point, the buyers start pushing it up again. Then whenever the sellers push it down again to this point, and we still get a rejection off of this floor where the buyers still push it up again. So basically that's what the support zone is all about. While the resistance zone, which serves as a ceiling. So if we're in a downtrend and we are getting downward movement, so if the buyers start going basically like a retracement, and we get into our resistance zone, which serves as a ceiling, we can see that the sellers start pushing the price down again, and when the buyers come in again and start pushing it up, and we get to that point which serves as a ceiling, the sellers push it down again, and this continues. So this makes it a resistance zone. So another point to make, a support zone can also be a resistance zone. And this, like in this diagram here, so we are seeing a support zone where it serves as a floor, rejecting off of the cells and causing buys. Same here until we break this. So after we broke this automatically changed to a resistance zone, because we have broken the floor, therefore making turning this into a ceiling. So once you broke it, you pull back in here for a retest. Now this becomes automatically a resistance zone. Then we reject off of that before we then break it again, and therefore turning this back into a support zone. So when we dive into the charts, you will see a perfect example of this on the chart. Next is the resistance zone. So basically the same thing happening on the support zone, where we get this, enters here as a support, rejects off of it, as a resistance, rejects off of it, then we get a break of that, therefore making this ceiling a floor, where we come inside here, reject off of here, and this automatically makes this a support zone before we then break it again, and then it continues as a resistance zone. So a support zone can also be a resistance zone. So next, we have what is a support zone in trading. So by now I'm sure that we already have an idea what a support zone and a resistance zone is. So a support zone is basically it basically acts as a floor, or like a floor that prevents prices from falling further, as shown in the previous image, which is this. And basically when an asset's price approaches this level, the buyers typically step in, increasing the demand, which is this, increasing the demand, and then pushes the price higher from that zone. So that is what a support zone is all about. Next, which is what is a resistance zone. So basically this zone acts like a ceiling, as I mentioned, which stops the price from rising further. So it basically acts like a ceiling, stopping the price from going further, rising further. And basically when a pair approaches the resistance, the sellers often flood the market, causing the price to drop. So basically once the this price gets to this ceiling or the resistance zone. The sellers basically flood the market, therefore causing the price to drop. So yeah, that is what a support and resistance zone is. Then next we have how is the support and resistance zone traded. So would go into this. So basically there are two major ways to trade a support and resistance zone. You can trade the bounce or you trade the break. So now what is trading the bounce? Trading the bounce is, back to this diagram, trading the bounce is basically, for instance, we're in the support, we have our support zone and this comes in here and then we pull into our support zone, therefore we trade the bounce off for the buy. So we take the buy positions to buy this instead of selling it. I don't know if you understand. So we take the buys instead of selling it. So this is trading the bounce. So we trade the bounce off of this zone, and then the next, which was trading the break, is basically when we have a break of that zone and then we wait for a retest of the zone, then we take the sales. That's if we're in the support zone, or the buys if we're in the resistance zone for that. So this is trading the break and this is trading the bounce. So back to this. So trade the bounce, buy the price, buy when the price falls towards the support. Yes, like I showed you. So when the price falls towards the support, you take the buy, and when the price goes up towards the resistance, then you take the sales. So basically that is what trading the bounce is all about. So for trading the break, buy when the price breaks through the resistance, like I showed you in the diagram, and sell when the price breaks down through the support. So this is basically what I have explained using the diagram. So next we have identifying and plotting proper support and resistance zone. So based on this, now I'm going to go straight into the charts to show you guys how to identify, plot proper support and resistance zones. So let's go right into the charts. So here in the charts, this is Euro USD. So let us basically go through Euro USD based on what we have just learned about support and resistance zones. So let's get into that. So this is on the monthly time frame. So to get the best support and resistance zones, I personally focus on the higher time frames, which is from the daily time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, the 3 months, and the 6 months time frame, depending on what I see. So these are the time frames that I mostly focus on. I usually focus on, due to the fact that on the higher time frame, you usually get higher chances and more valid support and resistance zones. I don't know if you understand. So that is why I focus there. So I don't go below the 4-hour time frame when I'm drawing my support and resistance zone. I usually stick within the daily, weekly, monthly, 3 months, and the 6 months. Then sometimes I go down to the 4-hour time frame to get the support and resistance zone. So I don't go below the 4-hour time frame. So let's continue that. So based on this, let's try to identify major support and resistance zones based on what we just learned. So I usually do this so I can see the screens more better and see all my zones fully. So here, let us see. So this is the first zone that comes to my mind. As we can see on the charts, this is the first zone that I can see on the charts. So this now is a strong support and resistance zone. Let me change this color to white. So this is a strong support and resistance zone, and let's do that. So we have here, which is where we had a break. Next we have here. Next we have here. Next we have this point, we have this point, so this, so we have 1, 2, if we count this, but I can just cover the entire place, so we just count it as so let me just do that. Let me draw another eclipse here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can count this as 8, 9, because there are 2 rejections, but we can just count it as 8. So we can see 8 rejections off of this zone. So like I told you earlier, a support can be a resistance, a support zone can also be a resistance zone, and vice versa. So what makes a support zone makes a zone a strong support or resistance zone, or a valid support or resistance zone, depends on the amount of rejections off of that zone. So in this case we have 8 rejections, which shows us that this is a very strong support and resistance zone. So yes, so like I said, so let us go through it. So this, we are on in an uptrend, it pulls into here, rejects off of this before it then breaks it, pulls back into here, does as if it breaks it. You can call this a break, or we can just count this as a rejection off of the support. So does that, breaks it again, pulls back inside here. So here it served as a resistance, then it broke it, making this a support, but it broke it again, resistance, making it a resistance, pull down, broke it again, now turning this into a support. We got our retest of that support zone, which is this. Then we got a push up by the buyers upwards. Then after some time, when the sellers came in and we started getting a downward movement, once we came into this zone, as you can see, we got a rejection off of it twice. The first one, which was this bullish candle, which was rejected off of it. Then the sellers came in again, got a downward movement, came back into this point, still rejected off of it again, and came up to this point. So this here, it was a resistance zone. Now this is a support zone. Then we pull back into here, get a rejection off of it again, pull back into here, get a rejection off of it again. Then we break it, like I showed you, we break it, therefore making this automatically a resistance zone unless we break it again. So as we broke it here, we expected a pullback, which is what we got here as a retest, pulling back into the zone, making it a resistance, now making it a resistance zone. We get a rejection off of it, pulls back into it, get a rejection, pulls back into it again, and then we get a rejection off of it. So this is a strong support and resistance zone, as you can see. So proceeding. So like I said, how to trade it, you can trade the bounce. So for instance, as we got this break here, we can trade the break or the bounce. So for instance, if we wanted to trade the break, as we got this break here, waited for a pullback, which is a retest of this, then we take that bias upwards, which was trading the break. Now to trade the bounce, after this has turned into a support zone and we got a pullback into this our support zone, then we take the bias from here based on our confirmations, then take it up, which is trading the bounce basically. So proceeding next, let us see if we can identify another zone, support and resistance zone. Let us go down to the weekly time frame for more clarity. So here on the weekly time frame, I can see a strong zone, which is this. So let us go straight up into that. So why I drew this here is because of merely looking at it, I see rejections off of this. Came inside here, rejected, came in here, came in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as we pull and go further, you see that we still got more rejections off of it. Let's try to make this, fine tune this. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then here 7. Then this point, which is 8, 9, 10, 11. As we pull and go further, we see 12, 13, then this 14. Then we have gotten a break of it, which is this. Now this is a strong support and resistance zone, as I have just identified. As you saw me draw it, you should see how I counted it. I made sure that. So the next which I can see here should be this other level, this other zone. Sorry, let me duplicate, clone this. Okay, now this, because as we all can see too, we have rejection of here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 break and retest, 12 pull back into here again, 13 pull out, pull into here again, 14 pull out into here again, 15 we get the break and a retest basically, although it did not really touch it, but this is also a retest making it 16, right? Then 17 after another break, pull back into again, 17. Then so this makes it a strong support and resistance zone. But if we decide to fine-tune it, we can still pull it back down a little bit, but then it means that some points would not really touch it. So this makes it a strong support and resistance zone. But also, if we can check, this doesn't really enter into that zone before it's reversed. So if you still check very well, you still see that that is also a zone. That is also a zone where, if we, for instance, let me just use this to show you guys. So yeah, so this is basically also a zone here. This point 1, then we get rejection off of this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, which was where it's rejected off of to pull into this support and resistance zone, pulled out of it, pulled back into it again, this point, and then this point. So if we decide to draw it as a rectangle, you can see that as a rectangle it would enter and include all these points, therefore making this also a support and resistance zone. So yeah, I think that is clear enough. That should be clear enough by now. So I then go down to the daily time frame to find other minor support and resistance zone based off of the daily time frame, which I can still see within this range, where I basically draw this here, and we see that you can see all the rejections off of this point. You can see all the rejections off of this point, therefore making this a strong support and resistance zone. So as you can see, you can count it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, pull that, break it, pull in 10 11, sorry, break it again, then pull into it, then you're getting a pullback into it. So yeah, this basically I think by now everyone here should understand what a support and resistance zone is and how to draw a perfect support and resistance zone for your trading. So let me show you how I analyze the charts using this as a trading strategy. So first off, based on the monthly, I try to identify the support and resistance zone based on where the current price is. So we can use this for the start as our support and resistance zone. So this, and then another zone below, which I think it would be best to draw this from the monthly time frame. So I hope you guys knew why I drew this one here. So we had rejection here, okay, yes, like I showed you guys here, broke it, pulled back into it for a retest, then this again, pull back again for this, and then went out of that. Then the next zone, which is this point here, which is a strong support and resistance zone also. So now based on this, I basically have a range which I will focus on. So this is where the current price is. So the price is within this range. So I then go down to the lower time frames to look for other support and resistance zones within this major support and resistance zone ranges which I just marked out. So if I go down to the weekly time frame, my area of concentration would be within this range, looking for support and resistance zones within this major support and resistance zones. So to do that, I basically clone this because I just saw one. which is this. So we can see this is a support and resistance zone on its own, like I had already shown you guys. So we can just do that like this, reduce this and change the color for us to be sure that this is a mini major support and resistance. So we cannot really like call it a minor support and resistance because this is on the weekly time frame, but it is also a major support and resistance, but based off of the weekly time frame. So this, let's fine tune this to match. So here we get the rejection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can see these are rejections off of this zone. So yeah, so now I have identified this now I have minimized this into this range. So we are just looking at this and this based off of the current price action, which is the current place that the price is at right now. Then next we then go within this range. I then go down to the daily time frame and then look for a minor support and resistance zone based off of the daily time frame. So I think I will have to fine tune this after I'm done drawing it. So with constant practice, it's actually very easy to identify your zones with constant practice. Did you just see how I didn't even look well and I still drew a perfect zone? So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, broke it, retested, broke it again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can count this as 11, 12, broke, retested, broke it again, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then the current place the price is at, which its price is currently rejecting off of, which is the 17, I think 17, yeah. So now based on this, now once you go down to the 4-hour time frame, you see okay, price is in this range. So what are we expecting based on our knowledge of support and resistance? Either we get a rejection off of this, which is trading the bounce, that's looking for setups for the sales, looking for setups of the sales in the lower time frame, which is trading the bounce, or we trade the break, which is we'll then see when we see a break of this zone, then a retest of this zone, then we then enter the trade for the buys to buy it up to this zone. So those are the two ways to trade that. So thank you very much guys for staying to the end of this video. I hope you were able to learn something new about support and resistance zones and how to draw the perfect and best support and resistance zone. Like this is not all you need, but this is 50% to 60% of all you need to make money on the market, to make money on the chart. So just once you get the perfect zones for your support and resistance, then you look for your entries based on those zones. For instance, this is on the 4-hour. Now based on your confirmations, you can then say okay, I want to take the sales, which is trading the bounce, take the sales down, or I wait because I'm seeing that this might break, wait for the break, pull back in here and then take the buy. So yeah, thank you very much guys, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. I appreciate it. And don't